For those who wish to finally graduate and become a universal creator of light, then to go back to the fourth dimension is not something that the soul desires. The soul desires to return to the fifth, and that's the platform that we use when all dimensions compress, and that's the ascension process. We're already travelling through the fourth. I'll give you an example of that. If you go to the doctor and you take a pill, or you go to the hospital and you have an operation, these are mechanical processes, and that is being 3D. If you go to a healer and you use energies and crystals for healing, if you do meditations with energies and kinesiology and those, for want of a better term, alternative healing methods, or shall we say holistic healing methods, that is 4D. So we're already living 4D lives. And when we're expressing unconditional love in moments in our lives down here, because we don't do it all the time, we're being 5D and above. So we're already being those expressions. What's happening is we're being more 5D and above more often, and it's getting to the point that we're going to be less 3D and less 4D, and eventually we're just going to merge with our 5D aspect and above. You get to a point where you know that the chakra body is a 4D body, and if you start focusing more in your inner heart and your greater heart, then you spend less time focusing on having to heal through the chakras, because you're now accessing levels of self which are beyond the chakra body. And what the mistake people are making, for those who wish to move beyond, is they go into the chakra system and they feel that that is everything, and they feel that that's the ultimate achievement, and it's not. There's states of being that are well beyond the chakra body. It's a stepping stone. I just warn people not to make it everything, because then they get trapped in that 4D paradigm. If they wish to move beyond, then don't make it everything. But if your soul journeys to go into that 4D paradigm, then if you want to make it everything, make it everything. I say to people, you'll be surprised who's going to ascend. I use an example of Mary Lou, who's a mother of 3, single mum, working really hard, working 2 part-time jobs. She hasn't got time for meditations and chakra healings or anything. She doesn't know anything about the New Age movement, yet she works really hard to provide for her children, and doesn't have time for any of these sort of things, but she's still going to ascend. You don't have to be applying yourself in spiritual modalities in order to ascend. Everyone's on their own journey. Where she is in life and where her soul journey is right at this point in time is exactly where she needs to be. And working that part-time job and providing for her children is exactly the set of experiences that her soul needs, and exactly the energetic patterns that her soul needs in order to re-attain balance in her soul. So what we need is different to what she needs. If I was to feel into the numbers, and this is not, I wouldn't say this is accurate, I just say how I feel. And I feel now the same way I felt in the last 5 years. It hasn't changed, that feeling. And I would say roughly 30% or a third of the world's population will ascend, which is quite a bit. It's over 2 billion. And I would say that half the world's population will go off-world to other realms, many different places, not just one location, because there's many soul paths in the universe. So they will continue their journeys in the lower domains.
Will they die and continue?
I think very few people will die. I think if you look at a third and then you look at a half, there's a little bit remaining in the middle. That's the portion that will perish in the earth changes, like the Japanese tsunami, like Banda Aceh, like the earthquakes. Yeah, and there'll be more of those to come. So some people will perish, but that was their soul journey. It's in their journey to perish in these earth changes. It comes from in my heart. I'm not somebody who's been indoctrinated into a cult or religious structure. I was christened the Greek Orthodox when I was a child. So I've come through a Christian family and a Christian culture, being more the Western style culture, and because they are based on Christendom. And I get my knowledge also from my experiences that I've had in my life. So I've travelled to many places, interacted with many beings in many realms and realities. I've travelled to other worlds, interacted with beings from other worlds throughout my life. It's been a common theme for me. Yeah, so I share my wisdom from my own personal experiences. For me, if I am to do a meditation, I will firstly go within my heart and bring my light out, and then I will use that light for anything. If I want to heal something on my body, or I want to feel into a particular subject or feel into an energy, that's the process I use. First I go in here and then I follow the energy. Yeah, because it's about doing it from a place of unconditional love. I tried going to meditation groups and classes, and there's lots of people and they're blissing out and everything, and it never happened for me. And I used to think there was something wrong with me, but now I realise I was protected from those energies. Those energies stimulate you in a way that's different from when you're inside your true heart, because when people bring the white light in and they bring it down through the crown chakra into the pineal gland and the spinal column, and bringing in other lights from outside of you, and meditating with a light from Saint Germain or Archangel Michael and all that sort of business, because the true Archangel Michael doesn't behave that way. So these are imposter beings. You're externalizing, you're giving your power over to these beings and these energies. So it's no different to taking a drug or taking a pill or anything like that. It's just you're externalizing with energies or praying to a deity outside of you. So this is about, for me, it's just always felt right to go within and just to do things organically and naturally from within my own essence, because when we go inside of ourselves, we connect with a part of us, a much greater part of us, and that's the part of us that made the decision to incarnate here on earth, and that's the part of us that's one with God, one with the creator of this universe, and it's a part of us that's one and in harmony with life. Some people call it the gut feeling, down in the gut. Some people feel from in there. Some people trust that if they don't feel it from in that higher heart region, which I speak of. What I found in my process is I was trusting my own feelings, and then there were times when my feelings weren't quite right, because I was trusting feelings that were coming from a very shallow place. But it's okay to trust our feelings and then to make a mistake, and not to be hard on ourselves when we do trust our feelings and then they prove to be wrong. What you end up finding is you start discerning between feelings that are shallow and feelings that are coming from somewhere else, like a feeling that exists because it came from an emotional charge, which is a reaction, or a feeling that comes from an ego-based thought process. And these are the sort of areas that we get more deceived. Our feelings can be deceived from these shallower sort of realms within ourselves. But once you go through this process and it's like a child, you stumble and you fall a few times, but you get back up again and you try to walk again. So trust your feelings, make a few mistakes along the way, but keep feeling into yourself. Don't stop. Don't give your power away to something else. Keep going within. And eventually, it's like cracking the egg. Eventually, you just break through and you feel into yourself. And that deep intuitive feeling, it's very subtle. It's very safe. It's very graceful and very deep. And it's very still. It's within you. And when it comes from there, then you know that's the real thing. Yeah, working with Mother Earth, the first steps, I feel, and what I've experienced in doing that is to just say thank you for her manifesting herself as the planet, so you can come here and have this incredible experience, this incarnation. And that's gratitude. I feel gratitude is a big key to the greater aspects of life and really having a strong connection with Mother Earth, with anyone, with anything. When you're grateful to anyone or anything, that's when the bond and the connection begins. And I would start there. And consciously just feel her in your day. Be aware of her in your day. You walk past a flower and just, wow, thank you for that individual flower for making me feel good when I look at it. And thank you to Mother Earth for allowing that flower to be here on her body. Simple things. You have a glass of water when you're thirsty. It's like, oh, thanks, Big Mama. Because we're breathing her air, we're drinking her water, we're eating her food. She's nurturing us every moment of every day. And we go about our busy days and we don't give it much thought. So if we can just stop and say thank you to her, that means a lot to her. That's all she asks, really. To understand the process that we are in and the coming 2 years, one needs to really feel into the forces of darkness and the forces of limitation, because they are facilitating this experience we're having as well. And to understand how they behave, what is their behaviour, what is their way of thinking, and to understand them is to know that they're not going to give up easy. They will fight right to the end, and they'll hold tight, really tight, right to the end. And there are some energies and beings within the forces of darkness and the forces of limitation who will go right to the end. So they're not going to go away bit by bit, nice and easy. It'll just be, it's like a jar. It's like a lid, and it's squeeze, because we've got this rising consciousness happening inside of us, and also at a subatomic level in everything around us. And they are trying to stop that change from happening. So at the moment, there's like this big squeeze happening in this reality, and it's going to get to a point where it's just going to give. And it'll happen very quickly. So it's understanding how they operate too. A lot of people have an ideology. I would like to go smoothly. I really would. But realistically, I don't see it happening that way.